Hello, kindergarten writers. It is Thursday, and we are going to do some reviewing over Writers Workshop of what we talked about last Tuesday, and then we're going to be learning something new today. Okay, so what do good writers write about? Well, good writers write about something that is real or something that really happened. Okay, we write about someone or something that we love. And we write about something that gives us strong feelings, and those could be any kind of feelings that we have at all. We have a lot of different emotions that happen in our bodies and in our brains, and we can write about any of those, okay? We don't just have to write about happy things. And we can write about something that happened to us or something that we saw happen to other people, and that is okay too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take this chart down for us, and I'm going to talk to you about what do good writers do, okay? So this is my chart, and I love this chart, so I'm kind of using it again. You can see it's a little wrinkled and a little bit well-loved is what I call it. You know, have you ever had a book like that before that you're like, oh, it's getting little tears in the pages, and you've taken really good care of it, but even though you've taken good care of it, you've read it so many times, and you love it so much that we call it well-loved. Okay, that it just starts to wear out a little. Well, that's the same here with my little chart. Okay, what do good writers do? Okay, so that's what we want to know today. What do good writers do? Well, number one, the first thing that a good writer does before they even start writing is we think. Okay, and a lot of times I'll have my students actually touch their head. You know, that part of your body where your brain is. Does all of the thinking for you, and I'll say, go ahead, and I give them some time to really think about what they would like to write about that day, okay? And that's where we kind of go over. We do something that's real. We talk in our stories about someone or something that we love and our feelings, and that's the first thing that we need to do. You have to decide what you're going to write about that day, okay? And you're going to notice I have a little picture of a brain here. And whenever you see this little light bulb above a brain that's all lit up, it means somebody has an idea. That's what that symbol stands for. You're going to see a lot of symbols as we go through kindergarten. Okay, you might start to see them around you in other places too. But that's what that symbol means. It's your brain. And that symbol means, boing, you came up with an idea. Okay? So the second thing that good writers do is they're going to make a quick sketch, okay? Now, you heard me talk about this a little bit last week, and you saw me do this a little bit last week. And I did just a little example here of a quick sketch. It is of my garden, and I walked out of my house, and my dog was digging up my garden, okay? And the dirt was flying through the air, all right? That's my story right there. That's my quick sketch. It didn't take me long to draw that at all. You shouldn't be taking a whole lot of time on your picture. Later on, when you edit your story, that's when you can make your picture look really, really beautiful. But our sketch that we do at the beginning of our writing time is really just to take the thoughts that you have up here and bam, draw them on the paper quick so you don't forget, okay? And so here I drew my quick sketch. I remember this one time, came out of the house, I went back to my garden, because you guys know I love to garden so much, and there was my dog, and he was just digging, and dirt was flying, and I was like, oh, what's going on, right? Quick sketch. That picture tells a whole lot about my story without any words, okay? Remember how we talked about, can you make that connection of how we talked about pictures telling the story? That was one of the first Writers Workshop lessons that I did with you. All right, well, number 3, so think, quick sketch. Then we're going to label our quick sketch. So here's what my whole paper usually looks like, right? We have a little block up top is how it will look when we're in school. We draw our picture, and then we're going to label it first before we try to write our story below it, okay? We're going to label it. And so somebody walking up might know a little bit about what that picture's about, but the minute I start to label it, it helps them understand what my story's about even that much more. And when we're labeling things, that's one thing that kindergartners can usually do quite a bit of right away, okay, is we're just using 1 or 2 words to label each thing in the picture so that our readers understand what we're writing about. So here I put the word garden, and I spelled it out as best I can. Here I put dog, and I stretched out that word, dog. So anybody that looks at this will go like, oh, I thought it was a dog. Oh, yeah, it was a dog. That's right. Okay? Here I show dirt. What's that spell? Dirt. So anybody that knows will know that that's not just motion. You know, sometimes we put little motion marks. They're going to know that that's dirt flying. And that's much more dramatic than just motion, right? Okay, here is, you might have been wondering if you just looked at this picture who this was. Well, if you go here to my quick sketch that I have labeled, you're going to see that that says M-E. That's me. I labeled myself in my picture so that people know who that is. It's not my son, it's not my daughter, it's not my husband, it's me, okay? And then here is my house. And so I wrote the word house, all right? So first you're going to think about what you want to write about, get a good idea in your head. Then you're going to make your quick sketch. Get your ideas out there on paper with a little picture, okay? Then you're going to label it so that people have a better understanding about what you want to write about that day. And then you're going to write your words, okay? Now, I don't expect you to spell things exactly correct. I want you using your letter sounds that you know to spell the words, okay? If we try to spell everything perfect the first time through on our rough draft here, it is going to take way too long. We might feel a little frustrated, and that is not how we want to feel about writing, okay? So use your beginning letter sounds. If you can hear the ending letter sounds in words, write those too. But I put, my dog was digging in the garden. And then I put a second sentence, and I said, I was mad, okay? Now, that's not the end of my story. There's more to the story. I ended up actually being happy by the very end of the story. But for today, that was all I had time for, okay? My dog was digging in the garden. I was mad. And I stretched those letters and sounds out to make my words and put that in there with my quick sketch and my labeling. And it makes it a lot easier for people to read. Now, in school, we usually give you about 20 minutes to do your writing. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. It just depends, okay? And once the time is up, then we put it away. And if we want to come back to the same story the next day, that's okay. Or if we want to start a new story, that's fine too. But never, ever, ever, okay, you got to listen to this really carefully. Never, ever, ever do you get to say, I'm done. I've had kindergartners try to do that before. They write for like 5 minutes and then they're like, I'm done. Mm-mm. Our rule during Writer's Workshop, you write the whole time. So maybe you take your time and you think and you come up with an idea and you do your quick sketch and you label it some and you write some words and the timer hasn't went off yet, okay? It hasn't been a full 20 minutes. Then you're like, what do I do next? Because the teacher said I need to write the whole time. Well, I tell you what, easy, you add detail. This is where you can go back and you can label it some more. You can even add to your picture to make it a little more detailed. Remember how it was just a quick sketch in the beginning? Once you finish your writing, if you have extra time, teachers don't want to hear, I'm done. No, you're not right. You're not done yet because you need to add some detail. We write and we write the whole time, okay? So adding details can mean making more words, It can mean labeling more. It can mean adding to your picture. Also, this is a good time if you're like, I'm done, to go back and check on things. You know, did you spell the word the best that you can? Did you put a capital letter? Did you remember to put your name on your paper or the date? Things like that. Sometimes when we get going too fast and we get really excited about what we're going to write, we forget certain things in there. And that's okay, because this is where we come back in and we get to edit and we get to make our writing better. Okay, so do I ever want to hear, I'm done, if the timer hasn't went off yet? No, we don't want to hear that. We want to see you going, oh, I know what to do now, because you're all very smart. I know what to do. I'm supposed to go back and add some detail, make my story better, make it more interesting, make it look more interesting, maybe make it look a little bit nicer, clean it up a little bit, okay? And we'll learn more and more about that as we work together this year, okay? I hope that you have enjoyed our writer's workshop time today. I hope that you'll take the time to go and write a little story after this, and maybe you'll get a chance to either share it in Seesaw with your teacher. I know my students, you can go ahead and take a picture of the story that you wrote after you followed these directions, and you can put it into Seesaw for me to check out. I would love to see that. And the other teachers, I know that you can do that for them too. I'm sure they would love to see your work also. But that's right, think, make that quick sketch, label it. That way we know what you're writing about. And then write your words. And if you've got extra time, if you have a timer on, which you probably should, that's a good way to start. If you've got extra time, don't say I'm done. I'm not done yet, timer's not up. Go ahead and add some more detail, okay? All right, I really look forward to our next writer's workshop, because I'm going to be doing some actual writing with you, okay? And I just want you to remember, and we will review all the things that we have learned in writer's workshop so far. I am so proud of you, kindergarten, and you are going to become wonderful, wonderful writers this year. And I know some of you have a really good start on it already, and I would love to see that. So please share that with us, okay, in Seesaw. All right, kindergarten writers, have a super great day. We'll see you later. Bye.